All right.
Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Kristen.
Hello from the floor at Tiffany's house.
Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for tuning into Raw Babes
101.
101. Actually, there's a song.
There's always a song.
No, but there's a song that is by, I don't know the girl, but she's actually, okay, I'm so glad I'm bringing this up. Because I'm noticing that music is becoming more positive. And they're doing like affirmations now in this song.
What?
Yes, and the song is, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am that bitch.
Oh,
if I want
that
to go
song.
get that bag, I am not going to take your shit. Anyways, so
I know what you're talking about.
in that song,
Yeah.
it says 101. And every time I'm like, you mean Raw Babes 101? So,
Breathe.
Let's clear our throat. I think we are a little bit delayed on our YouTube, but it's gonna be extra fun.
Extra fun.
It's a good.
A dick in a box.
Oh,
my
I forgot
God.
to tell you that too. Okay, so I was watching on. Sorry, I just have this huge. What is this?
Don't do it.
Okay, well,
Don't do it.
I'll just leave it. I'm too scared. So, you know how I obviously say dick in a box. And if any of you guys are listening, oh my gosh, just look at 1 for 3. Oh my gosh. Okay, so dick in a box came from SNL with, who was it? With NSYNC. Wasn't it with
Justin Timberlake.
Yes, Justin Timberlake. And he's like, you know, open up inside, there's a dick in a box. So then, I'm looking at fucking TikTok, and what's on TikTok?
A dick in a box?
Yes! And it was a reenactment, and I'm like, Tiffany and I have to do this
Oh shit, we have to do
for
this.
Christmas. But
For
maybe
Christmas?
instead of a dick in a box, we'll put
Why
what?
did they wait till Christmas? That's like a whole
Well, just because it's a
year.
present. It's a present. They did it with presents.
Well, we got birthdays. There's special occasions.
Oh my god!
And it starts. Oh fuck!
It starts.
You're fucking. I'm tearing up.
Yes! Okay. You know what's awesome? It's one of these things that we always say is to laugh and be around somebody that makes you laugh.
Well, that belly laugh, it's actually like, it feels like a workout.
Mm-hmm.
But
It does.
it's like in the midst of the laugh, you're like, I can't believe I'm laughing this hard.
I know.
It is so funny.
Yes. And especially with us, when we get going, it just is one of those
It's like
things.
children. We're like children.
And especially with the day of today and the last week, it's been a little bit of a rough one.
Yeah. And it's so funny because now we're out of the
Retrograde.
but
Almost
being in
retrograde.
20 like out of COVID, and there's all this talk about like feelings, and people are like saying how they feel, and there's so much to that. Like, what were we doing before?
Right?
Like, I don't understand. Were we not doing this before?
I think we're like sitting down and actually just having to be with ourselves and our partners and our friends, and in a different light. It's not the same as it used to be, because before we avoided it.
Right.
You would go to your lacrosse, or you would go to your
Yeah.
powerlifting class, or
Yeah.
then you would jump into your yoga class, and then you'd be out for dinner meeting your girlfriends, and then you're picking up the kids. So who had time?
So fast paced. There's just
Mhm.
so much that's been like stacked into that schedule on a day to day that, yeah, we really have to been forced to sit with our thoughts and
go
get real with them.
Go freaking.
And here we are.
And here we are. I think I'll share the little story of my little walkie-poo.
Your walkie-poo? Your
Yes.
walk-ski?
My walk-ski.
Do it.
I went on a walk yesterday with Cassius, and we went down to check out the goats, and before I left, I was like, you know what? I want to sign. Like, I need some sort of something. I've just been feeling kind of in my feelings and doing lots of healing, and it's like, okay, angels, guides, and loved ones, give me some sort of sign, like if I'm on the right path, or just something magical, just like a miracle. That's what I call it, and what Cassius and I call it. And so we go for a walk, we're on our way back, and I always see numbers and synchronicities and license plates and things like that. And then as I'm walking up Lady Street, before I'm going to turn on my street, I see Ruth. I used to work with her. Hi, Ruth! Pulls into her house with her mom. Her mom just driving her off. And I was like, hey, and I'm like waving at her. And then she jumps out of the car. We're like, hi. And we didn't hug, of course, because of COVID.
I would have hugged anyway.
We're kidding!
Okay, guys.
I'm kidding. I'm lying, but I'm like, we didn't. Okay. So, I haven't seen Ruth in a long time, so we used to work together, and then she stopped working for the company. Now she's like back working, and we see each other, we're like, hi. She says, hi, Cassius, how are you doing? Whatever. And all the things. And it's kind of funny because she also works with somebody else named Caitlin, who I also worked with, and I became very close with these two girls, and we always talked about like positive things and uplifting our lives and whatever. So
sweet.
Long story short, right? Ruth is telling me about how she's like been enjoying Raw Babes 101 and like listening to us, and her and Caitlin are in the office working together, and shared with me this cool story that after Caitlin heard Spiritual as Fuck, our podcast, she's like, that's my sign. And Ruth shared this message with me. And she's like, that's my sign. I've got to do it. I have to book with Nikki. So she books with Nikki, and she has her amazing reading. And she didn't even realize all these things that were happening or that were in her life that even affected her. It's just kind of like she went on with her life like, oh, everything's fine. And
in the bubble that we live in.
Exactly. And so she actually, after that, a message came up about her dad. And she hadn't spoke with her dad for years, since she was like a teen, a very young girl. And she reached out to him. Aww. And they've reunited, and she's doing counseling, and she is in her spiritual element. She's messaged me. I talked to her today. I was like, can I have permission, please, to like share this? And she's like, absolutely. I'm like, the whole point of me sharing this story is she took that leap of faith, and she said, this is the sign, I'm going to do it. And a lot of the times there's fear that's placed in front of this. Mm-hmm. So if you're afraid of something, that will halt you in your tracks. And she decided to go, it's the unknown, I'm going to try it, and who fucking cares? And by her taking that leap of faith and actually doing that unknown, she's freaking reunited with her dad and doing counseling and breath work and all these different things. And I'm
amazing.
Just like, what the fuck? All from...
I love how surprised you get from this stuff.
I do.
I'm like always like, I always feel like I just know, and it's like, oh, I'm not surprised.
And but I'm just like,
it's like you and Nikki get so like into the like, can you believe that?
I know.
Like, you knew this was gonna happen.
But you know what? And that's the thing. It's like that element of surprise, because that's always what I'm hopeful for, is why obviously you and I are doing this.
Yeah. Is
to pave the way for people's healing.
Mm-hmm. And impact those that are listening.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But for this sign and this, like, for me to see Ruth, and also Ruth has done the same thing. She's just gone to see Nikki, and
oh wow,
such cool things. She told me about, like, she's very much called to sing, and I didn't know that she sang. And she's got a beautiful voice, so she's called to sing and open up her throat. So Ruth, you better be singing. We might have you on the show singing. Okay,
100%.
And then yeah, we just shot the shit, and it was so magical, and it was like, this was the biggest sign for me, and then for me to share with Tiff and to share with all of you guys that we're on the right path. And we're helping others, and this is our fucking goal.
Well, there's a few things I would take from this story. For one, you asked for a sign. You put it out there. You wanted some feedback. You didn't know where it was going to happen from or how that was going to look like.
Yeah.
But you just put it out there and you just trusted that, you know, if there was a sign for you to have, you were going to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden also being open that if you didn't get the sign, then that was your sign.
Exactly. Sometimes the sign of nothing is your sign. You're
exactly.
Right.
So it's a clear message within its own. And then what was the other thing?
About like probably Caitlin and her healing, and then the fear.
Yeah, you know, like for us, we put in all this work, and we don't expect anything in return, but we all are putting in all this time into something we're so passionate about. Like anybody else that would, you know, put time into what they're passionate about, but if you don't hear the feedback, you don't know where you stand, and you don't know how impactful you are being. Are we on the right track? Are we doing, I mean, it feels right. Like, it certainly feels right. It certainly resonates. Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like every time we finish recording, it's like a counseling session.
Oh,
it's like,
I agree.
Woo! That feels good.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel too. Like we're just on the right track, but to get actual confirmation and to have her reach out and say all that, I was just like, and I was like, that's like money in the bank, knowing that they're facing their fears and going to the unknown. And a big thing about fear is there's a feeling associated with fear. And a lot of the times we want to avoid that. So we instantly go...
Because it feels icky.
Fuck it. Yeah.
It doesn't feel right. It feels icky, yucky. But we always kind of talk about how we should move towards the things that make us fearful, because that is something that is calling to us. And we're scared of it because we're like, ooh. Should I? Like, what's going to happen? I don't know. Oh my God. But this is what it's on. It's on my mind now. Maybe we should venture through to the things that make us fearful. But there was something else I wanted to say about the fear part, is that there's another kind. So that's kind of what we're going to get into.
Totally.
So there's the fear of like venturing into something new. And you're like, ooh. Oh, I've never done this before. Ooh, I don't know about this. This is scary. Okay, there's that kind of fear. But then there's also a kind of fear that you're just completely aware of. And that's the subconscious mind. It's like you're fearful of, I don't know, you don't even know you're fearful of anything, actually.
Yeah, like it's something
until you really break it down.
Yeah, something that you didn't even know the fear existed inside of you.
Yeah.
Can keep you stuck.
Yes.
100%.
Should we get into it?
Yeah, I'm always ready.
So, we all have our ups and downs. And Kristen just had it down last week. Mine was a build up to today, actually. And I wasn't giving it space. Because I could feel a bit of like the depression coming on. And now that actually, because I've been like reflecting frickin' all day. Like all day I've been just not thinking about what's been upsetting me. It's about what can I do with it? Like, what am I going to do with this? Like, how am I going to deal with it? But I did realize I haven't been microdosing. Yes.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding. I haven't been in like, it's been at least a week.
Wow, because I was
This is a regular thing in my life.
Yeah, and I was on my way here, and I was like, I wonder if Tiffany is. That came into my mind.
Yeah. So, and had I been, because like, I know this feeling of sadness. It's not nothing. It wasn't even really a trigger. Like, obviously there was things that triggered it to exacerbate it, but I knew what it feels like. I know what it feels like that depression, that emptiness, and that's what it was. It wasn't like something upset me.
Right.
It was just like longing of emptiness, and I could feel it coming on, and this is, you know, something I've dealt with since I was a teenager, I guess.
Yeah.
And yes.
Quick little curve. So Tiffany's talking about psilocybin, and if you guys take a few moments to research it, it is incredible, and it's really, I could almost say the word curing.
Yes,
a lot.
Of course.
Curing depression, anxiety.
Yep.
PTSD.
Yep.
Addictions, and so many things. It is incredible, and right now, like, it's just it's out there everywhere because it's so powerful. So
I'm gonna look at
if any of you guys want more information, just reach out to us. We have a lot of information. We're not going to sit on this topic for very long because we're going to save it for like another episode to really dive deep into this. But any age, it doesn't matter what age you are, microdosing psilocybin is on such a small level. It isn't altering your brain to the fact that you're going to see anything. This is literally like that
it's mood altering.
It's that brain and that thought. So a few people that I know, they had tried it, and one girl was like, oh my gosh, I like put on my bathing suit.
Aww.
And I was like, I look great. I was like, that secondary voice that we have in our head that goes, you're not pretty enough. Ew, look at you.
Yeah, it's gone.
Just quiets right down. And you're like, you know what? I've got this. I can do this. And this isn't something that you have to take for the rest of your life. It's something that you take 1 day on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 1 day on. Everybody has a different cycle. But what it will do is it will actually produce and change your serotonin levels. And we use such a minuscule amount of our brain, and it opens up a whole lot of our brain. Like, it is next level. So that we're using way more of our brain. We're supposed to be using more of our brain. So it opens it up, and it makes you see it in the present moment. The trees are greener. You're present to what you're doing. You're not in your monkey brain cycle of not good enough and that lonely, really depressed, dark feeling.
It actually enhances your cognitive thinking.
Yeah.
And I'm actually, like, when I'm microdosing, my English is so much more enhanced. I naturally
You're just like this.
Oh yeah, and the words come out, like, I can produce the most wickedest papers and like writing.
Yeah.
When I am microdosing, because it's just.
Well, this makes a lot of sense.
Yes, I know. So, well, quickly, Kyle Kingsbury's podcast. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He's been on Joe Rogan. He's amazing.
Don't even tell me.
Yeah.
But can you read that, please? What number that is?
It's 341.
143 backwards.
Ah!
There is no fucking way this is not divinely guided for this to happen today.
Okay, so Kyle Kingsbury's podcast. This episode, it's 190, and he's got Chris Bell on it, and they're talking all about natural medicines and herbs and stuff. So yes. I strongly encourage, if you guys could write that down and just remember and go to his podcast and listen to it if you are curious, because he has tons of experience with it. Yep. So did Chris Bell. I don't know Chris Bell. I think he's a producer, is what it sounded like. I think
I just want to make sure we're going on stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope, Tiff.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that Tiffany shared this right now, because we haven't.
Hold on.
Oh. What are we holding on to? Anchor? Save that.
Yeah.
We just had a little. She's just gonna trim it anyways, so we'll be like, no big deal.
Back
on. Hi, back on. So, I'm so grateful that Tiffany brought this up, because we haven't touched base on this. This is something that promotes in-depth healing, and we are going to talk more about it, but reach out to us because we would love to help you.
Yes.
Okay, back to you.
So, back to the story.
So, you should...
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you're calling me.
I know. So, what ended up happening is my morning was just a clusterfuck. And I honestly did not want to get out of bed. I kept my daughter home from school today. It was parent teacher. It was like half a day. And we're in COVID and they're not doing anything. So I'm like, whatever, just stay home. So, and then I'm looking at my calendar. I'm like, oh, I have a yoga class that I booked. So I just started getting ready for it, made my juice, drinking my water, ate some vegetables. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I live about like 15, 20 minutes away from the studio, and I just didn't, I don't know why I thought I had time, but I thought I had time, and I start driving, and it just seemed to take so long to get there. And all of a sudden, it's like 10:45, and that's the time the class is at, and I'm fucking driving. I'm sorry. They lock those doors, and you are not coming in. Like, you're not allowed to come in late. Like, it's just a no-go. So I'm like, fuck. And I just started feeling super, like, guilty and just like, what was I thinking, you idiot? Like, why did you do this? Like, this is the dialogue. And I'm like, okay, stop. Like, you need to stop talking to yourself like this. For one, it's happened. It is what it is. Now let's just make use of my time. I needed to connect with you anyways about what we were going to do today. So, first thing she says, how's it going? Like every Canadian in Canada, how's it going? And later. And I'm not, like, if I'm doing good, like, if I'm doing good, I'm going to say I'm doing good. And even if I'm not with people that I'm not, like, it's just a flyby, I will still say I'm doing good. But with my besties, I can't lie. So she's like, how's it going? I'm like,
she said, okay. Before she even said okay, I normally wouldn't even ask Tiffany how she's doing. I already could tell.
Yeah.
I was like, I could hear it in her voice. I could feel the energy. Yeah. I'm like, she says, okay. And I'm like, Tiff, what's going on?
Yes.
Like, let's go deeper. I'm like, literally, like, let's go deeper here.
And I couldn't even blame it on my period because I just finished it.
Oh.
I couldn't. So, anyways, we start talking, and you know what? I don't know. Like, when you're in a down, it is really hard to reach out. I'm not going to lie.
I agree.
It is, you just don't want to fucking talk about it. And I don't want to, like, I also don't want to, the feeling I get, this is what I say, is I don't want to bother other people because everybody's going through something. Mm-hmm. But that's what I think.
Feel like Debbie Downer, right?
Yeah, I don't want to be this, coming in with my problems.
With your energy crashing.
Yeah. And that's what I think.
Right, and that's funny, not funny. So that's something that I have the same issue with. So I didn't reach out to Tiffany and be like, oh, I'm not doing well, and I didn't reach out for help. I just went through it on my own. Yeah. It's like I go into hermit mode. It's like hermit mode, Virgo mode, just stay home, do my thing.
I'm going to find that Instagram because I want to tell you what, I think his name is Joe something. Oh my God.
So,
is this him?
I know so many other men and women that do this. They just suffer alone and suffer in silence. And you don't need to suffer alone or in silence because it's not serving you. It's not going to help you. And I'm so grateful because if Tiffany and I didn't have this podcast to do tonight, she wouldn't have reached out to me and to say what she was going through because she would have just toughed it out on her own. Yeah. But continue on.
So one of the things I did this morning in bed because I didn't want to get out of bed, it was I was on Instagram. I'm just going to see if I can pull up his account. Now this fellow is Joe. I think it's Joe something. Let's see. Okay, you know what? I don't see it. Dang it. Okay. Anyways, next time I come across his account, I'm going to put the story on our story.
On Raw Babes?
Yes, I'm going to. Yes, because he talks about killing himself. And he has a personality, split personality disorder. Yes. And he often feels like he wants to kill himself. And he talks about it like it's his illness. It's like every day.
Wow.
And he's in the UK, and he puts on this like leotard onesie, and he does these dances.
Oh
and
my gosh.
his arms are covered in tattoos. I mean, he's wearing these like Coke bottle glasses. He's just so different, and he's talking about his illness. And so I was watching, he just popped up on my Instagram, and I'm watching his videos, and I just love him. Awesome. I fucking love this guy.
Okay.
And
love that.
Everything he was saying, it's like, you need to talk to somebody. You need to tell somebody that you want to kill yourself, or that you're not doing well, because when you're sitting in with those thoughts, you're never going to work them out. He's like, and I screwed up last week, and I didn't tell my girlfriend that I was going to kill myself, and I just sat with my thoughts by myself, and it got worse and worse and worse and worse. And he's like, it finally came to a point where I had to tell her. And he's like, I had to tell her that I want to kill myself, and then we worked through it, and I'm fine now.
Wow.
And it's just, it's so real, and it's,
you know what prompted me right there is you posted something else, and it was with Mel Robbins, I believe, where
someone was gonna kill themselves,
and they were gonna jump off the
bridge, and then all of a sudden the 5-second rule came into his brain.
And the 5-second rule is going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with an action, and it saved his life. And he was on a talk show.
Mel Robbins has a talk show. She has a talk show. I know. I know.
That's dope. She's amazing, you guys. We've talked about her books, and
and I love her personality too. She's just so,
she's just like real, raw.
Yep. Just the way we are.
A raw babe.
Yep. Pretty much.
So,
so that is really what gave me that courage, just to be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna reach out, because you're my fucking go-to, okay? Because you just, I don't know, you say all the right things, and you're so supportive and so loving, and I just couldn't ask for a better friend. So I really appreciate that space that you gave me, because it's a dark place and it doesn't feel good, and it's important to have just somebody. And I remember actually having, like, in my ups and downs years ago, and I had reached out before, but I'd reached out to not the right people, because when I reached out, it wasn't taken seriously. It was just like, I'm busy. Yeah. So I had a girlfriend, and she's like, I don't understand people that are depressed. You just need to call somebody and tell them, talk to them, tell them that what's going on. I'm like, actually, hold on, like, because I've done that, and I never got any, like, nobody was there for me, like, and I reached out. So I'm like, hold on. But I don't want to discourage anybody from reaching out, because it does matter who you're reaching out to.
It's true.
It does. True. Because not everybody is grounded enough to be able to take that kind of...
And hold space.
For it. It's just, it can be really overwhelming for people who aren't in that space to help you work through it. But I did a video, I'll be posting it on my Instagram, and actually talking about this. And Kristen and I give this space to all of you. And if anybody is sitting in this, and you need to talk to somebody. And if you don't have anybody, fucking shoot us a message. Like, I will never turn anybody down when someone's coming to me and saying that they're like, they're fucked up.
They need some help.
They need help. I'll never turn you down.
Never. And that's the thing about Tiffany and I.
Yeah.
We hold a very safe space, so it doesn't matter what you're thinking or feeling. We've both thought it, and we've experienced some extreme lows, especially as a young child for me. So we respond to messages personally on our Instagram, and that's not going to change. So please just know.
It'll never change.
Yeah, it will never change.
No matter how big and famous we are.
Oh my gosh. So the cool thing here is Tiffany missed her class, but it was on purpose, because if she would have gone into her class, her and I wouldn't have had this conversation to then be talking about it right now.
And to be honest, the class was like a flow, like actual yoga class. But our discussion was way more therapeutic than me going to that class and just being with my thoughts.
And shoving them
And
down.
kind of shoving it, because you actually helped me break it down. And there was a point where I was like, no, I wasn't triggered. But, like, I was, obviously. I was, there's something that
hurt you.
Yeah, that exacerbated it even more.
100%.
And that was what we worked through. And what did you say? Like, every upset is...
about being the darkness? And then
well, like, it's something that I haven't worked through yet, or it's like a
it's
trigger.
another layer.
Right. What did you say?
It's another layer. I said so many things.
You did!
We talked for 36 minutes, and it was a very therapeutic 36 minutes of, first of all, we talked about the issue. We went deeper about the issue.
Well,
like,
you
where
said,
did this come
but
from?
in order to get there, you were like, "Okay, Tiff."
Oh, I said, I said about the belief, right? About what you were.
Yeah, there was a belief that stemmed from
from triggered from childhood.
Yes.
Or from a younger age of not good enough.
Yeah.
And that something was triggered, and.
No, that's what you said. There must be an old belief that you're hanging on to.
There you go.
And I'm like, okay, well, like, I wasn't triggered, and I'm just depressed, and blah, 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 blah.
And I'm like, well, no. There's something there.
There's something there.
Yeah.
And there was.
Yes.
And we worked through it, and we peeled that onion, and I've been reflecting ever since, and giving myself that compassion and that patience, and the credit that I actually deserve, other than what I was saying to myself earlier.
Exactly. And I told Tiffany, this just sparked in my mind, I said, Tiffany, love yourself anyways.
Yes.
Love yourself anyways. If you're upset
this was on our Instagram, on Raw Babes. What was that quote that's up there?
I can pull it up on my phone.
Okay.
But I did tell that to Tiff. I just said, Tiffany, I'm like, even at your lowest moment right now, what I'm wanting to share this message is with everybody to say, well, I love myself anyway, even like this.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, pull that up, because this has a lot to do with
on Raw Babes.
Yeah, Raw Babes.
Raw Babes 101 Instagram.
Such a song.
Everything's a song and a dance for me. It is. Oh my gosh. Speaking of which.
Nope, that was not it.
Up here, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe. No. What the H? Oh, maybe it was that one. Let's see. I'm going to hit that real quick. Okay.
Okay.
Nope, that's not it either.
And the TV, or this is off now.
It is off? Why?
I don't know. It's still recording.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Hopefully it's still recording.
Really?
It's plugged in, right?
Yep.
Power goes on.
People.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Some people wait a lifetime for a moment. Like this. I did a dance to that song, everyone.
You did?
I did. And, does somebody want to hear a really personal thing? Do you want to hear something really personal?
Spill it.
Okay, so something that happened to you happened to me.
Oh.
That you shared on our orgasm episode.
You squirted?
Oh my god. Mom, grandma, anybody plug your ears? No, so we've talked about that, and I've done that, but that's not...
That wasn't it.
That wasn't it.
What was it?
So I had an experience with myself, okay? And when I was manifesting an orgasm... No, manifesting while orgasming...
Oh!
I, out of the blue, I talked to my counselor about this because I was like, this was some deep, triggered childhood something or other.
Okay.
And I was in the act. Is that what you call it? In the act? And all of a sudden, I fucking start bawling my eyes out. I'm not kidding you. I'm laying there and I'm crying. It's like before. during, after, then I'm laughing like, why am I crying? Because this feels nice and I'm crying.
Oh.
And then it gets even crazier. Okay. So I'm like, why am I crying? I'm like questioning myself. I'm like, that must be my fucking sacral chakra just releasing old trauma. There was some old trauma. And I don't know whether it's this lifetime or last lifetime, but it was something that released. I had so much energy. I turned on the music. I started dancing.
Shut the fuck up.
And I'm like, if anybody saw me right now. Yeah, it was freaking amazing. It was amazing because it was like sacral chakra pain.
Oh.
I can't even say from this lifetime.
Interesting.
And what was it that Lisa said? She's like, one of her clients called it a crygasm. I'm like, I'm going to use that. So I know that was a little personal information, but nothing's too personal here.
No.
It's a safe space.
Dude, I talk about how my outer labia is a different shape than when I was born with.
Exactly.
Hey, why is it not coming up? This is so weird, Kristen. Like,
It's clearly not meant to be.
What the H? It was this person, her name is Kristen too, she commented on it and it was like,
maybe that's
it
right there.
On. No, that is not raw babes, though.
It's not meant to be. Backing up for a second, Caitlin and Ruth, we're really proud of you guys for taking the leap of faith. And seriously, like, what I wanted to say before was talking about fear. Look what she was missing out on, a relationship with her dad. Mm-hmm. And guess what? She chose the unknown instead of playing it safe. We all play it safe. Tiffany chose the unknown to reach out and talk to me. She fucking changed her whole day around in 36 minutes because she leaned into her fear. And instead of, this is the biggest thing. Nobody's judging you more than you're fucking judging yourself.
Oh, shit.
You are judging yourself before anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, the other thing is, there's nothing else anyone else could ever say to you that you haven't fucking said to yourself. We have rocked ourselves to ourselves far more than any human being could rock us.
I rock myself a few different ways.
Right? Yeah. So it's like, own the fact that this is old shit, old patterns, old beliefs, old ways. Mm-hmm. Feel it, acknowledge it, accept it, and go, I don't need this anymore. We don't need this shit.
Speaking of that, Chris Corsini,
did you listen to your horoscope?
Yes, and I listened to yours.
Okay. Good.
I had to comment on it. I'm like, buddy, that was next level, and you were so fucking bang on everything.
Yeah.
On mine and yours.
So, for everybody watching and listening, I highly recommend you find out, like, there's way more signs to your birth chart.
Yes.
Than just your sun sign. So, like, I'm Virgo, she's Sagittarius, and then, as you guys know, if you've listened before, we both have Scorpio moons, and then our rising is Libra. So, when you want the full picture of your horoscope, you need to find out those 3 ones at least, or look at your entire chart and see what you're made up of most, like which sign, because it could be like Virgo, and then you could have Scorpio, and then you could have another one. So usually the top 3.
You'll have tendencies of them all.
Yes. So you listen to all of them. Like, I listen to Chris's, and so does Tiffany, and I'll listen to Virgo, Scorpio, and Libra, and it's dope because I'm listening to both of ours at the same time.
Yeah.
So it was bang on.
Bang on. Like, great. I was like, fuck.
Every single person that I've sent him to, or like everybody just, they're like, oh yeah, they just follow him and then they listen to his shit because it's bang on.
Oh yeah. He's got a workshop,
full moon
workshop, and his new moon workshop's coming up. It's free, but it is a pays, like,
a donate.
Which you can.
Yeah.
If you like what you're listening to and it resonates with you, that's kind of like the same thing that we have.
Yeah.
We put it in our show notes. But because his is a workshop, it just, donate. Like,
He
fucking
says,
$10.
yeah,
like,
$5 is
yeah.
fine. Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
You guys will see the full moon workshop, and it was just a full moon in Virgo, so go ahead and do it. So check him out. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he's on Instagram. He's on all the things.
Chris Corsini. We can tag him.
Yeah.
We'll tag him in our...
He's hilarious.
He's like my bestest gay friend that he doesn't even know, like, we're lovers yet.
Yeah. And he's dope because he uses sign, and it's actually encouraged Tiffany and I to always make sure we have our captions on because he does sign language, and it's just opened up our eyes to a whole other realm as well, just to support
everybody.
Everyone.
Because for those who can't hear, what the fuck?
Yeah, how are you supposed to listen? How are you supposed to watch or know what's going on?
Yeah, we need to do this for everybody.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, it's very important. Okay.
There was something else that we were getting into, and it kind of got all over the place.
Well, fear.
Yeah, fear. I am going to give, at the end of this, I have 7 next level tips for fear and anxiety, so please stay tuned for that. I'm going to read that out to you guys. Pen and paper will be needed because this is a go-to when you're going through anxiety, panic attacks, you're in a really depressed state. This is going to be your, like, freaking savior, your Bible,
Big
back
time.
pocket. There was something else here that I was going to do. I know. I'm going to get this little card. Okay, so funny enough, last episode with Nikki, when we did the interview, part 2, Nikki pulled a card for Tiffany and myself and for the collective, for all of you. And
that's in our YouTube.
That's, in our YouTube. And I actually, I was at home, and after I spoke with Tiffany, I just kind of wanted to pull a card. I just was called to do it. And I fucking pull a card, and it's Tiffany's card, the exact one that she got, and it's Inner Temple, Devotion, Tune into the Portal of Your Heart. Okay? And then I went and read this message, and I'm really called to share it, so I'm going to get Tiffany to read it.
Yeah,
because
Kristen's
I don't have my glasses. Okay. And listen, please, like, just stop what you're doing and absorb what she's going to say.
Yes. 3, 2, 1. No, well, I mean, 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
Inner Temple, Devotion, Tune into the Portal of Your Heart. You're being called to be a devoted student and tune into your heart. To incorporate true devotion into your life. You could be being called to develop a regular meditation, journaling, or chanting practice. Or just show up to your soul with rhythm. To develop a daily practice where you fill up your well and spend time with your soul. All of the answers to all of the questions that you seek are waiting for you in the portal of your heart. But you cannot hear them unless you carve out time to listen each day. Your soul is yearning for a deeper relationship with you. Ain't that the truth?
This is it.
And so the more time you spend with it and show up to it, the more clearly it will guide you. We are here to grow as souls. Earth is one big playground for the soul to learn. And you are being called to go deeper in your soul growth or to increase your devotion by being a student of the lineage or spiritual teacher. If you've already been a committed student, then you are being commended for your devotion. Your guides want you to know how proud you are, how proud of you they are, and the time that you spend in devotion is priceless. If you are questioning your career or path or life path, your guides want you to turn your focus towards devotion in this prayer. Please use me in a way that delights my body, mind, and soul. May my life be one big moving prayer. So, work your light action, commit to a daily devotional practice.
And this is why I wanted Tiffany to read that, is first of all, she got it. Second of all, a collective got it for all of you and all of us. And it prompted me with what happened with Tiffany today is if we are not practicing the devotion to our heart and to ourself and having a daily practice, it's very easy to fall off, to not get grounded, to not be in a peaceful state. Your meditation, your breath work, these are the routines that need to be put forth before anything else. This is your saving grace. This is your healing tools, even if it's 5 minutes. It is so important.
Even if it's 5 minutes.
Even if it's 5 minutes.
5 minutes is a good start if you're not doing it.
Yes.
So now with carving out this time, and we talk about meditation, and I know there's a big handful of you that are not meditating, and it's because you probably feel like it needs to be this traditional thing where you need to sit in silence still and you don't even know what to do. That is one way of doing it. But there is lots of ways you can meditate and be clear-minded. And one of them is, I always talk about, is go for a nature walk.
Yes.
You can meditate while you're walking. So meditation is literally just clearing your mind of the day-to-day thought, the things that you're like, that's consuming you. You want to break from that. And you can actually dive deeper into your meditations by like focusing on something specific or just letting the universe come in and calling on you. So like your guides, your spirit teams, whatever you believe. If you just sit with that quiet, sometimes other things can come in that you're like, oh, well, that's interesting. I never thought of that before. And usually that would be an inclination of your spirit guides just giving you a bit of a poke. Like they're just kind of dropping little seeds into your mind. And it's like, oh, I don't understand where that came from. Well, that's where it's coming from. Whether you believe that or not. But I do believe that regardless of your day, and if you sit in quiet or not, you need to break away from that squirrely mind. You have to.
You have to.
We're bred. We're designed for that. And when we don't honor that, this way that we live now, we're too consumed with the outside world and what people are thinking and what we should be doing and what we're not doing.
Should.
Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Let it go. You can let go of that.
Let it go.
Let it go. And let go of it, because I always try, Louise Hay, she doesn't like should at all. She has always said could, because that leaves it up to an option. I could go to the mall today. I could fold the laundry on the bed. I could leave it alone too. I could let that.
I love that.
I could let it just pile up. Let go of should, because should is like, you should have done that. And it's somebody actually pointing a finger and reprimanding you. How about you try saying to your kids, well, you could have done that, because it's leaving it as an option. It's a choice.
Well, I tell you, when I missed my yoga class this morning, that dialogue I had in my mind was all shoulda.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it didn't feel good. Like, I didn't feel good. If somebody was literally saying that to me, I'd be like, fuck, tail between my legs. I feel like shit. What a loser. I should have done this, should have done that.
No. And it was just divine of how it was played out. Because it's like, okay, I'm here now. Now what am I going to do?
I could call Kristen. And
she did.
That's what I did.
And then she still got her workout done after the call.
Yep.
She still went and listened to her horoscopes, doing things to alter her
I even
state.
had a bath.
Good.
I did some content. I didn't do that.
Oh.
My kids were kind of around, so I just, no.
No, but you know what? A bath is better.
It was just,
have a nice relaxing.
yes, because I listened to my horoscope on there and
perfect.
listened to yours, so I was in there for about a half hour at least.
Nice.
Yeah.
And she altered her fucking state, reaching out to a friend.
Yes.
It's next level. I think I should do some of these tips. I do.
Tips for Tiffany?
Yeah, some Tiffanys. Guys, these are, what is it that you call them?
Tiffany.
They are gold nuggets.
Gold nuggets.
We're just rolling in on all of our other podcast episodes. That's a booger. A boogie. Okay. So here we go, you guys. When you are in extreme anxiety, fear, depression, bad mood, whatever it may be, try these on for size. First and foremost, this is the most important thing to do. Absolutely do not skip past this one, or you're going to be reliving this over and over and over again. So, sit with fear for 2 to 3 minutes at a time. Breathe and say, it is okay to feel this feeling. It is time to embrace this feeling. And sit with it.
It's like giving yourself permission to feel it.
Give yourself permission. This could be an emotion or a feeling from when you were 3 years old, 12 years old, and just know that that feeling may seem so overwhelming that you are so uncomfortable that you don't want to sit with it, but that is exactly all that you're asked to do. That's it.
Just sit. Sit with it for the moment.
That's all you have to do. Number 2, write down the things you are grateful for. Look at this list when you feel you're in like a bad place, a bad mood, and then add to the list when you're doing this, like whenever this happens. Third one, remind yourself that anxiety is not yours, and it is not you and who you are. Write a letter saying, "Dear anxiety, I am no longer limited by you. And what can you teach me instead?" What can anxiety teach you? Can anxiety teach you that you need to feel your feelings? And that this is the place that you need to go to heal in order to be free?
And being in that moment of anxiety, you have no choice but to be with it.
Yes.
Because it just doesn't go away.
It doesn't.
You're kind of forced to sit with it.
And I call on anyone listening who may take a prescription and Ativan and go and avoid it. Try this on for size for a minute. Sit with it at home. Just give it a try. Alter your path. Alter your typical routine of avoidance. Number 4 is exercise. This will reinforce your mind. This will refocus your mind. And go for a walk. Go to a boxing club. Go to a yoga class. Exercise will help keep your mind focused on the task at hand, and it will be producing serotonin and the happy juices in your brain. Okay? This also helps keep you grounded. 5 is humor. Call a friend. Think of something ridiculous you and a friend used to do, or that crazy time when you were a kid, or picture some family members doing something weird in your brain that just makes you laugh. Like, just alter that state.
Or go to our IGTV.
Oh, yeah.
And watch the video of Kristen and I. We created that video for drinking our juice.
That's pretty funny.
And it was like, parts of it was slow motion, some of it was backwards.
And us being Tinkle and Kinkle.
Oh, fuck.
We've got some
Those are pretty
silly things. Yeah. Okay, so humor is 5. Now 6 is dance, sing, and meditation. So these things help us release the pent-up energies that are stuck in our body. Doing these things will do miracles. Dancing will move the energy throughout your body. Singing will open your throat chakra, and it will move the energy blocked. Meditation promotes you to feel the feelings, connect with your higher self, and find peace. So dancing, obviously, I fucking love to do that. And even after what happened with me, I had that release. I cried, felt the emotions, felt the things that happened, and then I danced.
Literally.
And I moved more of the energy, and I felt so good. So it's like, do something silly, like scream if you don't want to sing.
Yes.
It's dope. You got to move the stagnant energy that's in your body.
Actually, screaming is an amazing way to release that energy.
Yeah.
It's like when we go back to when we were children and babies, because we were so perfect and so innocent then, that's what kids did. They would just like sit there. Babies just sit there and they just scream.
Yeah, let it out. They got to move the energy.
You can tell they really enjoy that. So
totally.
And yeah, it's good therapy.
Reprogram. So this was back to meditation after I had said that it will just bring you a lot of peace and it will reprogram the old ways of thinking. Will bring you back to the present moment. Tiffany also mentioned about meditating. Like if you have a hard time doing a meditation, I highly recommend a guided meditation. I've said this before, Insight Timer. It's got beautiful, beautiful guided meditations. And start slow. Start with a 5 or 6 minute meditation and just practice on listening to the person that's talking. And number 7 is appreciate the courage it took to face the fear and the anxiety and the feelings. Say it out loud and thank yourself. I am making myself stronger and less likely to let the fear stop me. Most important thing is to be kind to yourself. Say to yourself what you would say to your best friend. Remember, you are not your thoughts.
Good job, Mama.
High five.
Yeah, that's really good.
I agree.
Really good.
I agree. I was like thinking about these tips and I'm like, what would impact everybody else and ourselves? What is the best way to deal with something that you're out of control? And that is the best way, is these 7 steps.
They are the best ways. Definitely.
Yeah. And there's so many tips there that you could at least hit one of them.
Definitely. Even to help add to that a little bit is, I know like when we are feeling shitty in our mind, we're not as likely to treat ourselves very well, and that goes with what we're called to eat and like put in our body.
Say that.
Yeah, so when we're feeling shitty, we kind of go to things that we think is going to make us feel good, and those are the things that actually are the worst for us, like the comfort food and the coffee and the alcohol and so I also and I know speak for Kristen too, is just make sure, number 1, you're hydrating. When we're dehydrated, our minds can actually play fucked up shit on us, and we'll start telling ourselves these crazy things, and it is usually because the main thing is because we're dehydrated.
Yeah, and we have no fuel.
Yeah. And if you're not eating the right things, and you're not putting live food, I'm not talking about animal protein. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the food that grows from the ground, the things that are still alive when we basically are eating it. Yeah. That is what we need to put in our body. Now, these things, I know you don't want to do them, but you're going to be so grateful that you did.
You're going to reap the rewards.
Yes.
Next level. Yeah. Mind, body, soul, energy, connection to your higher self. And when you're connected to your higher self, it's a lot easier to make positive decisions. When you're connected to a lower self, it's a lot easier to make shittier decisions.
I know. I'm guilty.
Oh, we all
guilty.
are. We all are. But it's just reach for all these tools, add them to the toolbox.
Yes.
Have a heavy metal detox smoothie every day. It's next level. It's like fueling every part of your brain.
My family loves that, by the way.
Best.
That's kind of our post-workout meals.
So good.
So good.
It's any time of the fucking day meal.
Yeah,
anytime.
It's so good.
Yeah.
My kids love it. My husband loves it. Like, I just can't not make it.
Yeah, it's so delish.
But, so when you are feeling shitty, you, for one, let's just be honest. You know that's not the first time that's happened. So now that you know and you've been there, done that, felt it, moved past it at some point, remember what that feels like. Remember what that shitty feeling feels like, so that when you're in that situation again, you kind of like, oh yeah, I should be doing these things. Could be. I could be doing these things, because you know that these are the things that's going to help elevate you, even if you don't want to do them. Trust me, I did not want to get out of bed this morning.
Yeah.
I just didn't. But I know that I could be doing something else that could be making me feel better. Mm-hmm. And those are the things I moved towards. And I wasn't even going to fucking record, because I was like, I am not in the headspace to record it. I thought it was really important to share this.
And I'm grateful that you did.
Yeah.
And thank you for being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And thank you for shining this light for everyone else to feel validated.
Yeah.
Everyone can feel like we're all in this together.
Dude, and you sit and you feel worthless, and life's not working out for you, and I don't care. I know there's bigger things going on, but you can't help the way you're feeling at the time in the moment when you're in that space.
Yeah, you gotta honor that.
But yeah, you gotta honor it, and you gotta give space for it. Have a little compassion for yourself, and just that alone just starts alleviating, and then just start getting into that toolbox, and start using those tools that Kristen just named off.
Yeah, those Tiffanys.
Tiffanys.
So, what time are we at?
We are. It's like 5 after 9.
Okay. Should I roll those babies out?
You do it.
So, I'm going to ask Tiffany, because I opened up this Gabby's affirmation cards, and there's already one flipped over. I didn't do that.
You didn't do that?
I didn't do that. I didn't shuffle
I
them.
see the way that you were pulling them out. You're like, what?
Yeah, I was just looking. I was like, why is this like that? So I'm like, I can shuffle, or I can just take that one, and I just don't know. Maybe I should take it and shuffle.
I was just gonna say that.
I asked her a question, and then I answered my own question. So you read it. It's I know.
What the fuck?
I know. This I did not. I just I pulled this one out. This is just her insert, and I opened up the card deck. All of the cards are like this, and then this one, it's black, and
it says, I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love? What the fuck?
You guys, like, everything is on fear and anxiety and Tiffany's stuff,
What?
and that's what it is.
It's dark.
It's
like,
dope.
it's dark for
For a reason.
I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes
That's
of
amazing.
the teacher of love.
And
wow.
you know what? I want to say, yeah, Monday for me was brutal. I was bedridden. I had to cancel my class. I had such a crazy headache, and I knew where it came from. I knew 100% I had a bit of monkey brain going on from the week before, but it was from angels, guides, loved ones being like, no, you're going to have a headache because you are not stopping.
You're not honoring yourself.
And I was not. I wasn't listening. I needed to slow down and have a day. And that's the other thing I wanted to share is take a break. A life's work doesn't need to be done in a day. It takes time. Takes time. So I had to sit that day and lay in bed and do nothing to feel myself. I didn't feel myself.
Not that time.
Not that time. To feel better. And then obviously the next day I felt better. I did all the tools that I needed to do to honor myself and get back on track. But take a day. Cancel your day.
Sorry.
If your kids aren't going to school because you're having a mommy me day, that's okay.
100%.
Have a mommy me day. Have a mental health day. It's healthy. We encourage it.
I'm so curious if you shuffled them, what card would come out.
Okay.
I'm going to hold your mic for you.
Okay. Okay, so I am calling on the energy of the collective for anybody listening, watching. Angels, guides, and loved ones, please give us a card that is relevant for all of the listeners and viewers.
Boom.
It says, my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest.
Okay, guys.
There you go.
If you're going to sit there and you're going to manifest the things that you're depressed about, it's going to be smacking you in the face so hard. So turn that shit around and say the opposite of what you're saying to yourself.
Yes. Love yourself.
Love yourself. Stop beating yourself into the woods because you don't deserve that. And you are perfect the way you are. Even if you're not feeling perfect, that's perfect for you in that time, in that moment, and you need to feel it. Because if we didn't feel these down moments and these down times, we wouldn't appreciate the good ones.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you said earlier?
Without the darkness, we cannot appreciate the light. There would be, we'd be like, oh, everything's perfect all the time and happy and light. What's the point? You have to have contrast.
And that's kind of like what social media exudes a bit, is how perfect everybody seems to be.
On the outside.
Okay, guys, come on. Nobody's fucking perfect. Like, if you think for a second that just because we're putting happier thoughts and stuff on there,
or the best photo of each person,
doesn't mean, like, those are the things that we want to focus on.
Yeah.
But it's not disregarding, you know, the shitty times. Like, give your head a shake.
Yeah, and this is where we are. This is where we're at, and especially with Raw Babes 101, we are sharing and showing you just how real we are. This is just us.
Yes.
You're gonna share our journey. We're gonna share our journey with you, and we love all of your feedback, and fucking keep killing it, guys and girls out there, healing your pain, healing your inner child, leaning into the unknown. Guess what? We know what our comfort zone is. We know what that feels like. Reach for the unknown. We don't know what's over there.
We don't even know what we don't know.
There's
some shit that we just don't even know we don't know.
We
Like,
just don't even know.
we don't even know that we don't know.
That we don't know?
Don't know.
I don't know.
No.
We're getting shirts made saying, I don't know.
I don't know. An emoji.
I don't know.
Don't know. And
I'm with
not
her.
knowing, that's okay.
Yes.
It's okay. We have
Thank
2
you all.
ears and 2 ears and 1 mouth for a fucking reason, guys.
Yeah. Listen.
Motherfucker.
Listen.
Dick in a box.
It's a dick in a box. Or it's a vagina in a box.
It's a vagina in a box.
It's a chode in a box.
It's a chode in a box. It's a butthole in a box.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Okay, well, that was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you guys.
Thank you guys for holding space for us and listening to our shenanigans.
And
Paris.
you're good. Love it.
I would like to go to Paris one day. I've never been. Also, can we go to that place that I tagged you in?
Yes, I didn't look, but I'm like,
At
for
the
100%
name?
we're going.
It's a place in Canada that has a whole bunch of, like, looks like mineral pools. It's like a lake, and it's known to heal hundreds of
What the hell?
different problems that you have. It will heal it.
Oh.
So I want to go. It's like mineral. It's mineral pool. It's a lake. We'll find out.
Oh, and again, if you want to hear about healing stuff, listen to that Kyle Kingsbury
Kingsbury. She's a
episode.
She's thinking about
Calming. Squirting.
Oh my gosh, we are so inappropriate, but that's why you love us.
Exactly.
And if you don't, it's a hard left.
Hard left.
To the left, to the left. Everything you own in the box to the left.
Dick in a box. Okay, love you
Beyonce.
guys. Bye, you all.
Bye.
Take care.
Love you.
Love you more.
Love you again. 4, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Boom.
And save.
Not yet.
Oh, how do you save? Oh, bottom left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I can stop holding the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did it.
We did it.
I'm proud of you. You were feeling it this morning, and you turned your life around.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean,
That's great.
and honestly, what prompted me the most to want to talk about it is I've been having conversations with people, and I did a huge reach out just to people who watch my stories and stuff, and just did a health check and just see where people are at and how they're feeling. And Yeah, fine, it's a good business strategy, but it's really truly like I want to know how my people are doing, and I want to know if anybody's in a spot where they just kind of need space to
And push or guidance or love.
Yeah, totally, like an ear. I know, like that would be a game changer for me. Had somebody so many times that just reached out and be like, oh, there's a sign. But take it as a sign if that does happen, and maybe it is a time for you to reflect a little bit on where you're at in the present time, in the moment, and everything comes as an opportunity. So maybe see it as an opportunity, maybe not.
Yeah,
I don't know. Whatever resonates, I guess.
So that book
This one
is following me everywhere because I've come to your house a few times, and we remember I was talking about Tony Robbins on an episode, and I said. The Power of Now ended up being his book. And now it's here. Oh, and look, there's Louise Hay, my favorite, my all-time. Everyone get this. The cover's different now, but
this is like an old, like original,
an OG.
OG.
But with this man, clearly it's a sign that I need to read.
Yes.
Or
borrow it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect. It's a new earth awakening to your life's purpose.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're going to cut it out. Thank you guys for tuning into Raw Babes 101. Did we forgot to say bye even on our podcast? Oh, well. It's all good.
We can always add it later. Bye, everybody.